going on, guys? Your boy Stanley Simmons back again with Stanley Simmons Reactions. And today, guys, we're going to be reacting to Mariah Carey singing Vision of Love. It's going to be on her Daydream World Tour, which was 96 Tokyo Dome, which if you guys know me, know this is my favorite Mariah Carey, you see what I'm saying? Vocally and physically. 1995, too, I love Mariah Carey, too, when she was at the Madison Square Garden. But anyways, guys, that's enough of me talking. Let's get into this video. Let's see what she has to offer. In 3, 2, 1, bam! Come on, Mariah. That melisma.
Treated me kind, sweet destiny, carried me through desperation to the one that was waiting for me. It took so long, still I believe.
Look good.
Somehow the one that I needed would find me eventually. I had a vision of love, and it was all that you'd given to me. Yeah. Right through the night, felt so alone, suffered from alienation.
I gotta put on pause, guys. I gotta put it on pause. See, this is what people don't realize, why Mariah Carey is such a great vocalist. I mean, it's obvious. Just listening to this, you can tell she's a great vocalist, but people don't realize her unique ability to transition flawlessly at the accuracy and the speed that she does. There's one thing to flip from head to chest. You're singing in head voice and you just flip to chest and you continue singing. There's another thing to back continuously flip head voice, falsetto, chest voice. You know, she's just constantly flipping. It gives me goosebumps just listening to how accurate she is too and how precise it is, her transitions. But anyways, guys, obviously the belt was fantastic. But anyways, let's get back into it. Oh shit, hold on for 1 second, y'all. My headphones came out.
Oh, I carried the weight on my own. Had to be strong, so I believe. And now I know I've succeeded.
Just listen, guys.
In finding the place I can see. I had a vision of love. And it was all that you've given to me. I had a vision of love.
She looks so good in that black dress.
It was all that you've given me. I realized her dream. Oh yeah. That vision was life. The love that came to me. Feels so alive. I'm so thankful that I've received the answer that heaven has sent down to me. You treated me kind, sweet destiny, and I'll be eternally grateful.
The freedom in her high chest.
Prayed through the nights, so faithfully, just knowing the one that I needed would find me eventually. I had a vision of love, and it was all that you've given to me. I had a vision of love, and it was
Say.
Turned out to be.
You better go off, girl. Beautiful head voice too at the end. She's so bad to the bone, man. She is so bad to the bone, man. Yeah, at the end, man, she hit the head voice. I just thought to myself, that's something she never really does. She hasn't used her head voice. She in her entire career, she barely uses it. She just uses falsetto and chest. But anyways, guys, I think this is the reason why Mariah Carey is not only one of the greatest vocalists of all time, but why her songs are considered the most difficult of all time. I think objectively speaking, anyone that's got a sense of voice that kind of knows singing a little bit will know that Mariah Carey songs are a lot more difficult than a lot of other artists, simply because it's one thing to be a good singer and be able to belt high and hit a note or whatever the case may be. You might not be able to belt to the same quality as a particular singer or sound as good as them, but you can still belt. Whereas it's physically impossible for most people to be able to do what Mariah Carey does. Like, most people can't whistle, so automatically you can't hit that song. You see what I'm saying? Most people cannot transition to the degree that she transitions and still be on key and still and transition precisely. It's one thing to hit a transition, but how do you hit that transition? Is it completely, are you falling flat? Are you a little pitchy? Because it's hard to stay on tempo on a song and keep it in your mind that you're transitioning to a certain point, and then you transition it back, and she just does so much in her songs, man. And that's what does it for me. And a lot of people give her praise for her whistle register, but for me personally, it's the transitions, because no one else does it like her. And I mean, this was just the best time, in my opinion, vocally for her, because it's kind of like Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston was technically great in the 80s as well. She was a full-blown soprano in the 80s, and in Bodyguard era, I guess she was. Was she a soprano, or was she like a mezzo? I don't know, because her tone was it was different. But anyways, technically speaking, she was just as good in the 80s. But for me personally, it was the Bodyguard era that brought me to love Whitney to the degree that I do, because it was just her tone. Everything just came. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. I guess it's just the tone. And for Mariah, it's kind of the same thing. In the early 90s, she was a great vocalist. I mean, she had some errors here and there, but she was a great vocalist. But for me, it was during MSG, Madison Square Garden, and Tokyo Dome era, 96, when she became, in my opinion, the voice, or the greatest vocalist in the world at this time. And not only that, but became one of my favorite artists, because this era was just something else for Mariah, man. Personally, for me, I mean, I just loved her tone, her execution of notes, where it was still flawless. It wasn't like she was struggling for certain notes. Her stamina is another thing. This is the Daydream World Tour in Tokyo. She performed a lot of ballads back to back, and to be able to hit it consistent. This song was actually towards the very end of her tour, or of this particular performance that she was doing. So it's over an hour into the performance, and she's still able to sing to the same degree as when she first started. So that goes to show you her stamina. And she doesn't fatigue very easily. I guess once she's warmed up, she has a pretty solid technique. And these are just vocals that's out of this world, man, from Mariah. I mean, she gave me everything I wanted, everything. And like I said, the high notes, the freedom in the high chest too is another thing, guys. She's just able to just hit notes like it's nothing, back to back. And phrase, that's another thing. She's able to completely phrase up in those high notes, those F5s. Not in this particular performance, but I remember watching Make It Happen, I think it was. And she was just phrasing each note at the top and just back to back to back to back. But like I said, guys, my favorite part of Mariah is not her whistle notes, it's not her chest voice, it's not whatever. It is her transitions, because they are godly. Godly. Nobody that I've ever heard in my life is able to transition like a Mariah Carey. And that's the greatest compliment I can pretty much give her. And that is why she is not only one of the greatest vocalists of all time, and people, don't get that confused, but she's one of my favorite voices of all time. And I think just because we have our favorite, for me it's Whitney Houston, for you it might be Mariah, for you, someone else might be Celine Dion. Even though we all have our favorite, I think we should give credit where credit is due. I hate when people say, "Oh my God, Mariah is so great, but Cracky Whitney is crap," or "Whitney is the greatest of all time. Mariah can't compete." You know, it's like, bro, like, we're lucky to live in a world where we have voices of this magnitude that we can pick from. You might prefer someone else, but you can't take away from the abilities that these voices have. These are the greatest voices of our time and of the world, really. So I'm just appreciative to be able to live in this era where I can listen to them, man. So yes, we can compare and stuff, and that's cool, but let's not diminish someone else just because you prefer somebody else. You see what I'm saying? But anyways, guys, I'm going on a tangent again. That's the video of Mariah Carey, Vision of Love. One of the greatest voices of all time. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe and join the family. This will help promote my channel so other people can see it. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed. Peace.